Hello everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of this Git Essentials tutorial. In this video, let's download Git and create a GitHub account, create a repository and initialize it in our local system. If you're a Mac or Linux user, you'll have Git pre-installed. To know if Git is installed, go to your terminal and type Git. If you see something like this, you have Git installed in your system. If you are a Windows user, go to this Git SCM. I'm on Linux, so I got Linux here. If you are on Windows, you'll get Windows here. Just go to that. These are installation instructions for Linux. If you are on Windows, you'll have the Windows instructions here. You can just download the installer and double click to install that. Once installed, I would like to tell you another thing, Git and GitHub. So what is the difference? Most of the people think that Git and GitHub are the same, but it's not same. Git is a version controlling system, whereas GitHub is a service provider for Git. There are many service providers for Git. There are GitLab, Atlassian, Bitbucket. The Bitbucket is a product of Atlassian, I know that. GitHub. There are many things. There are many service providers for this Git. I am using GitHub here because it is user friendly. I feel it is user friendly. So go to this github.com, create an account. I have already created an account. It's easy. It's like 2-3 steps. You can do that. Once after creating this account and logging in, here you will have something called plus icon. Click that. You will have new repository. Create new repository. For this tutorial, I'll do Git Essentials. Right? Description. Type a description here. Git Essentials by TechSmithy. Done. It can be public or private. When it's public, anyone can pull your code. When it's private, only the developers who you kept as collaborators are only eligible to download this. And the next step, initialize it with a README. This particular step is very important if you're actually developing a code. I'm not doing it right now because I don't need that README now, because it's just a sample repository. README is something which stores the information about your repository. When someone opens your repository, README is going to appear there. And git ignore. This git ignore is something which ignores few files or directories. Let's say you're developing a Node.js application, Node modules, bin folders, or if you're developing a C# application, then .NET application, then you'll have bin. If you're developing Java, you'll have .class files, etc. They are not required to be stored in repository because they are local files. They are just temporary files. They don't need to be pushed to the remote repository. So based on your application, Git provides you the git ignore files. Let's say I'm developing Node.js. You'll have Node project here. If you're doing .NET, C#. Okay, it's not there right now. I don't know why. Every project will have a git ignore. You can do it from there. You can add license here. I'm not doing it any of these here. Just create the repository. After creating the repository, there is no code right now. It's just an empty repository. Now I need to add my code. From where can I add my code? For adding the code, I need to initialize my repository in the local system, right? For that, just copy this link here, Ctrl+C to copy, terminal, Git. I'll go to desktop first, desktop, or say documents. Okay, that's fine. Right? cd desktop. Now you need to use clone, git clone, and paste the repository link here. So that will create a folder called git essentials in my repository. See, it's telling me you may have cloned the empty repository, but that's fine. I'm going to add this code here. So in my desktop I have git essentials and Steam. That's fine. So I'll go to this git essentials directory. We do code dot here. Code dot. Right. I'm using Visual Studio Code editor for this one because it is so simple to manage Git in Visual Studio Code. I'll tell you why in the later part of this video. Okay, now I am in this folder. So it is an empty repository, right? It is an empty repository. There are many ways of initializing a repository. Now how will you identify this as a repository? Let me go to my desktop, Git essentials. I'll see if I can view hidden files. I'm still searching. I don't know where. Yeah, show hidden files. So being an empty repository, I have a git file here. This .git file stores the local changes, everything regarding your local repository. Now this is a local repository. This Git essentials is a local repository. Every change will be stored in this .git file. Based on this, it will try to push commit. It will allow users to do the Git operations. Right? Let me close this. There are many ways of initializing a Git. Now what we did is directly added this remote repository as a local repository. But what if you have an existing project and you want your project to be in Git? Then that's a different scenario, right? So for that, let me close this. Let me go to the file manager. I think I'm already on it. Okay. Let me go to the file manager. The desktop. I already have this Git essentials. Let me remove that. Now let me create a folder here. Git essentials. Make sure that this name is equal to your remote repository name. Let me verify that. Git essentials. Okay, I can't see that. Okay. Git essentials folder. Now this is a folder. Let me open this Git essentials. Show hidden files. See, there is no repository now. So I need to let's say this is my project, but I have empty folder here. But let's say you have some code here and you want to convert this code into a remote repository that you have created. So for that, again, terminal. Not this one actually. Right? Go to this terminal. CD. Let me go there. ls. Now I have Git essentials folder. So let me go to that Git essentials. Now I'm on Git essentials directory. Now I need to make it a local repository. It's a directory, not a repository now. For that, just do the following. Git init. This will initialize your local folder as a repository. See, I got this .git file, but you don't know where to do and what to do. If you push the code or commit the code, based on what it should commit or based on what it should add, based on what you need to change, you need to specify the remote. What is the remote? This is my remote repository. Based on this, my local changes should be appear. The changes that I have made, local changes with respect to this repository. So I need to do git remote add origin. So git remote is something related to the cloud stuff. Add origin is, it's quite explanatory, self-explanatory. Adding the origin you'll often call the remote repository as origin. That's it. Git remote add origin, and there goes your repository. Git remote add origin and my repository here. Now git remote -v. So for fetching and pushing this, it's about to use this repository now. This is our repository. So I have initialized the repository again. This is the repository which I have seen in the earlier. Okay, that's it for the video. In the next video, we shall create a file. We shall add, commit, push the changes to the remote repository. Thank you for watching.